Ever said yes to something, and then maybe 5 minutes later you're thinking, wait, why did I agree to that?
Oh, definitely.
Or, felt that sudden urge to buy something just because the ad screamed limited time only.
Happens all the time.
Well, what if I told you there are these, like, unseen psychological forces constantly nudging your decisions every day, and you probably don't even realize it?
It's fascinating and a little unnerving when you dig into it.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into a classic, Robert Cialdini's Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion.
I kind of think of it as a psychological survival guide.
That's a great way to put it. It helps you spot and hopefully resist those subtle forces shaping our choices.
Right.
And our mission here really is to unpack Cialdini's insights. They're surprisingly timeless.
Yeah.
We want to look at why they still matter so much today and what it all means for you navigating this world just full of persuasive attempts.
So we're kind of distilling the core message, the key takeaways, but maybe with a fresh look at it. Exactly, based on, reviewing the book and thinking about its impact now.
Okay, so let's unpack this. What actually got Cialdini started on this? I mean, he's a psychologist, sure, but this feels like more than just lab work.
Oh, it absolutely was. He didn't just sit in an office. He went undercover, put himself right in the middle of it.
Seriously? Like where?
Sales training programs, telemarketing, boiler rooms, even recruiting sessions for cults, fundraisers, you name it. He immersed himself. He wasn't trying to learn manipulation tricks for himself.
Right.
He wanted to expose it. To answer this one big question, what makes people say yes? Especially when, deep down, they might actually want to say no. It was proper investigative psychology. Boots on the ground.
Wow. That's commitment. So he wasn't just observing, he was living it. And what came out of that were these universal levers of influence. Is that right?
That's the term he uses, yeah. Almost like cognitive reflexes, things our brains just automatically do.
Like mental shortcuts.
Exactly. And the really key thing, his goal wasn't to teach people how to pull these levers on others. It was the opposite. He wanted to arm us, everyday people, against those who do know how to use them, to give us a defense mechanism.
Okay, that makes sense. So the core problem he's really tackling is our brains are overloaded, right?
Pretty much. In this super complex world, we can't possibly analyze every single decision deeply, so we rely on these mental shortcuts. They're efficient most of the time. But Cialdini calls them weapons for a reason, because they can be hijacked, exploited, used to nudge us in directions we wouldn't consciously choose, and the scary part, most of us don't even see it happening.
We just go along with it.
Yeah. We get influenced so easily, often completely unconsciously, and sometimes really against our own best interests. That's the deep issue he brought to light.
So there was this gap, kind of. We all like to think we're in control, making rational choices, weighing the pros and cons.
Right. We overestimate our rationality.
But Cialdini comes along and says, hold on, actually, you're being nudged and primed and subtly maneuvered constantly. Well, it's a bit unsettling, honestly.
It is. But knowing is half the battle, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. He went undercover, saw all this stuff, and then he distilled it down into 6 key principles. 6 master keys, you called them.
The 6 weapons of influence, yeah. Think of them as the fundamental triggers.
Or maybe like the essential code for your mental firewall. Let's walk through them. What's the first one?
First up is reciprocity. This is huge. It's that deep-seated human urge to return favors. If someone does something nice for you, gives you something.
Even if you didn't ask for it.
Especially if you didn't ask for it, it triggers this powerful feeling of obligation. You feel like you owe them.
Ah, okay. Like Cialdini's famous Coke study, right? Where the guy buys someone a Coke unasked and then later
asks them to buy raffle tickets. And they do, often buying way more tickets than the Coke was worth. It's not logical, it's psychological.
So those free samples at the supermarket.
Exactly. They're not just being nice. It's a tiny gift designed to make you feel slightly indebted, maybe more likely to buy the full product. It's a little psychological IOU.
Clever. Okay, so the lesson for us, for you listening.
Be aware. When someone gives you something unsolicited, just pause. Ask yourself, is this genuine kindness, or is it potentially triggering that reciprocity rule? You don't have to reciprocate, especially if it feels like manipulation. Recognize the tactic.
Got it. Okay, principle number 2.
Commitment and consistency. Basically, we have this strong internal drive to be and to appear consistent with what we've already done or said.
We don't like to contradict ourselves.
Nobody does. So once we make a commitment, especially if it's active, public, or requires effort.
Like writing something down.
Yes. Cialdini mentions that. He saw hospital patients who actually wrote down their commitment to a treatment plan were way more likely to stick to it than those who just said they would.
That's the foot in the door technique, isn't it? Get a small yes first.
Precisely. That small yes makes it much harder to say no to a related, larger request later. We want to stay consistent with that initial commitment. Every little yes can kind of lock you in.
So the takeaway here is be really careful about those initial agreements.
Be mindful, especially of small, seemingly harmless commitments. Think about where they might lead. Are you agreeing because you genuinely want to or because you feel pressured to be consistent with something you said or did earlier? Guard that first yes.
Makes sense. What's number 3?
Social proof. This one is everywhere. When we're unsure what to do, how to act, how to think, we look to others.
We see what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. We assume if lots of people are doing something, it must be the right thing to do, especially in ambiguous situations or times of crisis. It's a shortcut, follow the crowd.
Like laugh tracks on TV shows telling us when to laugh. Or, viral trends online.
Exactly. Or product reviews. Lots of people bought this. But Cialdini also talks about the darker side, like the bystander effect.
Where everyone sees an emergency, but nobody helps.
Because everyone is looking at everyone else, assuming someone else will step in, or that maybe it's not really an emergency if nobody else is reacting. It's collective paralysis born from social proof. Silence isn't always neutral, as he points out.
Wow. So the lesson is, don't just trust the crowd.
Pretty much. Question it. Popularity doesn't automatically mean something is right or true or good. Ask, is the crowd right? Or are they just loud? Or maybe being led? Don't outsource your judgment.
Okay. Principle 4.
Liking. Simple but powerful. We are much more likely to say yes to people we know and like.
Makes intuitive sense. Friends, family.
Sure, but it goes beyond that. We're also more easily persuaded by people who are, say, physically attractive.
Really?
Yeah, or people who are similar to us in some way, background interests, even just mirroring our body language. Compliments work too. Familiarity helps.
So the friendly salesperson.
Exactly. Or the entire influencer marketing world. They build rapport, connection, liking before they pitch a product. It feels like advice from a friend. Scammers know this too, how to build trust through liking.
So for us listening, if you find yourself agreeing, mainly because you just like the person.
Hit pause. Mentally separate the person from the request or the product. Ask yourself, would I agree to this if it came from someone I didn't like or someone neutral? Judge the message, not just the messenger's charm.
Good advice. All right, number 5.
Authority. We have this deep-seated sense of duty to obey authority figures.
Even if it feels wrong.
Sometimes, yes. Titles, uniforms, fancy suits, credentials, even just projecting an air of confidence, these things signal authority to our brains. And we often switch off our own critical thinking and just comply.
Cialdini talks about the Milgram experiments here, doesn't he?
He does. Those were shocking. Ordinary people delivering what they thought were incredibly painful, even dangerous electric shocks to someone else.
Just because a guy in a lab coat told them to continue.
Yeah. It shows how easily our own moral compass can be overridden by perceived authority. We think we're inherently moral, but Cialdini suggests that morality can be disturbingly flexible under pressure from authority.
That's a heavy one. So the left...
Question authority, not in a knee-jerk way, but thoughtfully. Ask, is this person truly an expert in this specific area? Or are they just wearing the symbols of authority, the title, the uniform, the confidence? Don't let symbols automatically bypass your own judgment. Is it real expertise or just a costume?
Right. Critical thinking is key.
Nice.
Okay, the last one, number 6.
And finally, scarcity. We assign more value to things when they are less available. Opportunities seem more valuable when their availability is limited.
Ah, FOMO. Fear of missing out.
Totally. That's the engine scarcity runs on. Think about all those marketing messages. Limited time only 3 left in stock, sale ends Friday, going fast.
They're everywhere.
They work because they trigger an impulse reaction. It bypasses our careful deliberation. It's not necessarily about greed. Cialdini argues it's more about our aversion to loss. We hate the idea of losing out on an opportunity. The potential regret is a powerful motivator.
So the lesson here is, when you feel that urgency because something is scarce,
pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this genuinely scarce and valuable, or is the scarcity being manufactured to make me act without thinking? That once-in-a-lifetime offer. Chances are something similar will come along again. Don't let manufactured urgency dictate your choices.
Wow. Okay, those are the 6 principles. Reciprocity, commitment, consistency, social proof, liking, authority, and scarcity. So Cialdini laid this all out decades ago. What does it mean for us today? I mean, the world is so different now, right? Hyper-connected, digital.
You know, it's almost like he had a crystal ball. These principles haven't just aged well. They've basically gone into overdrive in the digital age. They've been digitized, scaled up, baked right into the algorithms that run our online lives.
How so? Give me an example, like
Yeah.
reciprocity.
Okay, reciprocity. Think about free. Free apps, free trials, free ebooks, free content. It's the bedrock of so many online business models now, right? Freemium.
Yeah, you get something for free up front.
And then you feel a little obligated, maybe to upgrade, maybe to subscribe, maybe just to give them your data or attention. We're swimming in free stuff online, but it's rarely truly free. That reciprocity principle, it's become a kind of currency of digital consent.
Huh. I never quite thought of it that way. What about commitment and consistency online?
Oh, it's huge. Every like you click, every account you follow, every newsletter you subscribe to, every online petition you sign.
Yeah,
These are all micro commitments.
little public declarations.
Exactly. And once you've declared something online, your stance on an issue, your preference for a brand, the algorithms and social pressure kind of nudge you to stay consistent. You get shown more content that aligns with that commitment. It shapes your feed, maybe even reinforces your identity. We're not just curating content anymore. We're curating ourselves online and then feeling pressure to stick to it.
Right. And social proof. That seems obvious online.
Obvious, but also manipulated. Likes, shares, views, follower counts, it's all quantified now. But how real is it? You've got bots, fake reviews, influencers buying followers. Social proof used to be a mostly organic signal of what others genuinely thought or did. Now, it's often a carefully marketed illusion.
Yeah, you can't always trust the numbers. And liking.
That's the entire influencer economy right there. People build these huge followings based on personality, relatability, attractiveness, liking.
Creating those parasocial relationships.
Exactly, where it feels like you know them. So when they recommend a product, it doesn't feel like an ad. It feels like advice from a friend. And that feeling, that liking, can easily override critical thinking about the product itself. We trust the charisma maybe more than the credibility.
Okay, and authority online. Is it just blue check marks now?
That's part of it, yeah. Blue check marks, high follower counts, these have become the new symbols of authority, replacing traditional credentials for many people. In this crazy attention economy we live in, often sheer confidence or visibility gets treated like competence. And that can be, well, pretty dangerous when we're looking for reliable information.
Definitely. And scarcity. That feels like it's on steroids online.
Totally.
Yeah.
Flash sales that last 24 hours, flight prices that change while you're looking, limited edition product drops, disappearing Instagram stories, NFTs based entirely on digital scarcity.
It's constant pressure.
It is. And it's often not about actual limited resources, but about perceived rarity, designed to make us act fast. We end up making potentially big decisions, financial or otherwise, in this atmosphere of manufactured urgency, always feeling like we're about to miss out.
So all these principles are amplified. And you mentioned something earlier Cialdini talked about, cognitive overload.
Yeah, and this is critical for today. We are bombarded with more information, more choices, more notifications than ever before. Our brains get tired, mentally exhausted.
I feel that.
We all do. And when we're cognitively overloaded, what do? We fall back on those mental shortcuts, those 6 principles. We rely on them more when we're tired and overwhelmed. So ironically, the very environment that makes us need shortcuts also makes us more vulnerable to their manipulation.
That's a cycle.
Yeah.
You know, thinking back on reading Influence, one of the things that really hit me personally was just the self-realization aspect.
How so?
Like you read about a principle and you immediately see yourself doing it. Cialdini holds up this mirror, you go, oh man, that free trial I forgot to cancel. Reciprocity. Or that time I bought that thing just because the salesperson was nice. Liking. It's like getting a peek under the hood of your own decision-making.
Yeah, it makes you see your own patterns.
And that one observation he had, remember, that even giving a completely nonsensical reason still increased compliance significantly. Just using the word because seemed to flip a switch, even if the reason itself was illogical.
Right. Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine because I have to make some copies?
Yeah. It's absurd, but it worked better than giving no reason at all. That's not even persuasion, that feels like. Like some kind of psychological magic trick.
It highlights how automatic these responses can be. And Cialdini really takes aim at some common myths we tell ourselves.
Like what?
Well, the big one. Oh, only gullible people or weak-minded people fall for this stuff. I'm too smart for that.
Yeah, we all think that way.
We do. But Cialdini's point is, it's not about intelligence or weakness. The smarter you think you are, the more you might believe you're immune. And that illusion, that actually makes you more vulnerable. These principles work because they tap into automatic, efficient brain processes, not because someone is dumb.
So it's about how our brains are wired, not our willpower.
Exactly. And that ties into another myth. I always make rational decisions. I weigh the facts. I use logic.
We like to believe that.
We really do. But Cialdini shows, again and again, you think you're choosing rationally, but so often you're actually just reacting to one of these triggers. Your brain uses the shortcut because it's easier. We're responding to these invisible cues all the time.
Okay. Any other big myths he busts?
The idea that popular must be better, social proof again. We see something is popular, lots of good reviews, everyone's talking about it, and we assume it must be high quality.
But that's just a shortcut.
It's a shortcut your brain takes when it doesn't want to do the hard work of evaluating something on its own merits. And like we said, especially online, that wisdom of the crowd can easily be manipulated by a few. Popularity can be manufactured.
So, bottom line, Cialdini's message is, influence isn't about brute force.
Not at all. It's subtle. It just needs the right conditions, maybe some familiarity, the right timing, and finding that little back door into our psychology. It's not about making you suspicious of everyone, but about cultivating awareness, profound awareness.
Okay, so let's bring it home for the listener. What's next for you after hearing all this?
For me, reading the book honestly felt like installing a mental firewall. Like suddenly I had this defense system. How can people listening apply these insights day to day?
That's the key question. And, if Cialdini were updating the book right now, I bet he'd add some new concepts. Imagine a chapter on AI-powered personalization.
Ooh, yeah.
Influence isn't just general anymore. It's becoming surgically precise. Algorithms know your specific psychological triggers, your vulnerabilities, maybe better than you do. Persuasion tailored just for you.
It's sobering.
It is. And maybe he talk about digital consent fatigue. Think about how many times a day you click accept cookies, terms of service, pop-ups.
Constantly. You don't even read them anymore.
Exactly. Our compliance muscle gets exhausted from saying yes all the time. And a tired mind, a mind fatigued by constant small agreements, is much easier to influence on the bigger things.
So the goal isn't to just disconnect, become a hermit. No, definitely not. Cialdini's work isn't about paranoia. It's about agency. It's about understanding the game so you can play it consciously, not just be played by it. It's about reclaiming your ability to choose thoughtfully within this environment.
Right. So to recap this deep dive, influence basically pulls back the curtain on these hidden psychological levers that shape our decisions.
And it gives you the tools, the awareness to spot them, to resist them when needed, and maybe even, to use them ethically yourself, understanding how human behavior is moved.
So the final thought, what should people listening really take away and ponder?
I think it's this: influence based on Cialdini's principles, especially now. It's no longer just a set of tactics used occasionally. It's kind of become the background noise, the very air you breathe in our modern mediated world. So the real challenge for you, listening, isn't just knowing the principles. It's practicing conscious resistance. It's about actively, continuously reclaiming your awareness in an environment that is, frankly, engineered to override it. Start noticing. Watch for these 6 principles in ads, in conversations, in news headlines, in your social media feeds.
Just observe them in action.
Just observe. You'll be amazed how often you see them and how much more in control you might feel once you start recognizing the invisible strings.